Hey everyone, we're here on Toulan doing the event this weekend, and I thought we would take a little break from the Zahir hosts and bump out the Bahri Daily. So I got the Hunt 35 daily from the terminal, but there's another daily down here at Pit North from Ferris here, and it's to kill 100, and it gives evade as a reward. And so I thought we were going to do a small Codex Hunt on Bahri today, and so I wanted to get both of the dailies. Because the more you can get for killing the same mob, the better off you are as a player. So that's where the high level ones are. I think we're going to go over here on this coastline. And I think it's about the same to fly there as to teleport and come from Guardian Village. So let's head out. So we're just shooting to get on the other side of this river, and then we'll fight along the coast. It has a reasonable spawn of low levels Bahri, which are nice because these are numerical hunt challenges. They're not cost based. The two dailies. So you can kill 100 stalkers, or you can kill 100 youngs. Same reward. You'll get more codex, obviously, for the stalkers, but oh, and then the other one they show you is way over here. But the problem with that during the event is on the coastline here is where the evolved Wahesh spawn is. They're like 100, level 100 and something, 200 something, high level mobs. Definitely out of my zone. See, here we're getting into them, but those are Prowler, Stalker, alphas. You can tell because the blue ones are always alphas and above. And so I always thought it was nice that they color coded the maturities for us. And then there's like a mixed spawn, like weird jeeps and stuff in here. We don't want no part of that. We'll hunt those later. I think we're far enough in that we're only gonna get what we want to hunt now. Dominant's still a little higher than I'd like to be hunting, so we're gonna head west after this kill, obviously. The Bari have a weird mix of drops, honestly. Some of them have a little bit of markup, though. The problem is a lot of that markup was during the furniture craze of Tolan. Well, he dodged 4 times. That's always a bummer. Because also the never the ones that seem to have a big multiplier, right? So if it dodged 6 times, you dumped an extra X amount of pet into it, and it hit at 10 times. It would always be W score, but it's always the like 1/3 multiplier. Now we're getting into the ones I like to see, the low level fives, and I think fours are the mature and youngs. In any event, they hit way less often and for way less damage. That Bahri Claw used to have some markup. Let's see. Yeah, see how none of them sold in the last month, and on the year it's at 200%. That's because of the furniture stuff, and so you're unlikely to actually be able to sell that now, I would imagine, which is kind of a bummer, right? It's always nice to get stuff that you can sell for a little bit of markup, make up a little bit of your losses. Suppose I should heal a touch. And these will group up on you, but it's usually not too bad. Their aggro range is pretty moderate. The hide, however, does still have a little bit of markup, it seems, and you can sell it. I don't know if you have to go to Calypso to sell it, because some of that stuff sells, but only on the main planet where the major marketplace is. Oh, that's a nice amount of hide. The other thing you can sometimes get off these guys are some weapons. I've got that Hilka knife, the 5 to 11 damage one, on multiple occasions, which is nice. I always like when I get it. I'll take it. I'll go skill on tabs or whatnot. We're already halfway done with the first daily. That Hunt 35 one. It goes pretty quickly, even with a pretty low weapon. I mean, I'm just using the LR10 on these guys. Although when we get jump like this, I'll switch to a bigger one. I accidentally crafted a damaged one of these LR10s, so I thought I would try and burn it out. And I thought these would be a good range. Um, Seems like it's a little low on the DPS for these guys. Might want to go with a 15. Or the equivalent in the DPS zone. I don't know what that would be. Probably 30 DPS. I mean, the more DPS you pack, the faster you'll get through the quest, right? And you can move on to do whatever other daily you had on your list. Or progress on a specific quest, right? Everybody's got long-term character goals. But these are a nice hunt because I'm just using pixie armor. I don't even have any plates in it. And so you do need a little bit of armor, but not very much for these guys. You definitely don't need expensive fancy armor for them, like you do for some of the other creatures. Yep, he's aggroed. I was trying to stall him out just long enough to finish off that other guy, so we weren't just getting pounded on by multiple mobs. Although I do need to work my avoidance up. So now, if we were trying to maximize skill gain at this point, we would go turn this in for that Hunt 35, and we would go do something else for an hour. We would spunt tabs, do a Caboria hunt, run a few CUHOFs, do some of the card instances, some of the other stuff that I like to do on this planet, and then we would come back after the hour because those terminal quests reset in 1 hour, and so you can do them multiple times every day. Well, that one kind of hurt a little bit. Probably should have healed first. Definitely have to heal now that I have 2 aggroed. And like I was saying, the terminals reset after 1 hour. And so you can do the 35, go do something for an hour, come back, do the 35, go do something else, come back, do the 35, and you'll get 3 rounds of the 35, which is perception. Um, it's looter skill, highly valuable, highly useful. Not really highly valuable, I guess, in the monetary sense. It does not have a crazy markup, but it has a reasonable one. Yeah, the codex is going reasonably slow, 0.2, 0.3% it looks like. And so that's a fair amount of kills per level, or per rank. 1,000 maybe. Those are nice. Those mineral extractors have good markup. I think it's the diluted one that has the... Oh, it's down now. That's cool. At one point, it was all the 700% markup. And a lot of the textures on Cyrene use that. And so we weren't doing that. So I'm not paying... I refuse to pay 700% markup for an extractor for a texture that I can't actually put onto anything because I'm not skilled enough. We haven't done any texturing. It's not true. I did my first one the other day and let me know I wasn't skilled enough. I did it anyway and took the skills. It's like, well, I'm not skilled enough. Thanks for the skills, though. Oh, a couple pet is nice. So these guys loot okay. Um, Obviously depending. Every mob cycles a little bit, or goes on a run, or however you want to phrase it. Gets hot. Well, that one almost killed me, it looked like. Hey, we're halfway through the other daily for the evade, which is the one I really like. It's really nice to get your evade up. I still do a little bit of swunting here on Toulan and on Cyrene when we're there. I don't make videos on it because it's kind of boring. Not the swunting itself, just to watch someone else swunt is I think kind of boring. Um, it's nice to just kind of after work or before work, just kind of relax, especially with the new sweat mission on Cyrene. I don't think some of the turn-ins are necessarily worth it. I haven't crunched all the numbers yet. Um, but I think we're on the second sweat mission, which will allow us to do the second round of turn-ins. And the first round gives you concentration, um, which is awesome for sweaters. I think it helps you have a higher maybe percent activation. I don't, I don't know that for sure. I haven't done any tests. Just a theory, we'll say. The problem is that they want 40 of that Zorn compound A, which takes a bunch of sweat to make. I think it's 25 per attempt, and so it's going to really eat your sweat up pretty fast, honestly. But on top of that, the 40 units is 1.2 ped, and I was only getting 2 or 3 pack-in skill out when I ran it through the skill calc that the Entropia Wiki thing has, which put the markup on the skill pretty high. We'll try and do it when we get back to Cyrene next week or something. Try and actually run some numbers on it, and then we'll do a little video about what it appears to cost to get that skill on that turn in. And it has a 72-hour cooldown, so you can only do it twice a week anyway. Well, it might be time to circle back towards this little outpost. I don't know what it's Snowy Mountain or whatever it's called. Snow Stretch. Because I would like to stay away from the prowlers and the stalkers, and honestly, even the alphas. At that point, we for sure have to switch to the bigger gun, and I'm really trying to burn this one out. It seems like basic leather extractors drop off a lot of mobs on Toulan, which is nice because they have a pretty good markup, 180 to 200%. It's what makes swunting the tabs potentially profitable. Depending on the amount of extractors and hides you get, you can do pretty well. Because the sweat kind of makes up the difference on that. You lose 10%, all right, 90% back. So that's 10% down. And so the sweat kind of makes up that other 10%. And then the fact that you get more extractors and hides or items that have markup can kind of push you near. So you're likely to break even. And there's a chance that you actually pull ahead a little bit. Especially when you pull codex rewards, and I think the daily for tabs is anatomy, if I recall right. Oh, cool. Looks like my desire to break that rifle is about to come to fruition, we'll say. All right. What else we got to break? Let's break this one next. Well, although I should have healed before I put a new rifle on that I don't have hotkeyed, I suppose. Details. Oh, that was a nice one. 9 ped in shrapnel. Oh, there's a global 28 pad. That's excellent. So we'll be near break even on this hunt probably. So like I was saying, sometimes the Bahri loot okay. Um, and obviously sometimes not so well, right? But more often than not, on the kill 100s, I'll global once, or at least every other time I do it, I'll get a global. And so they global. I don't want to say often, but fairly often, right? Every few hundred kills, you'll sometimes get a reasonable hit, or maybe I'm just lucky when I go to hunt these. That's possible as well. But a lot of the Bari, pretty sure we look back on some of the other videos with the Bari. Um, I've globaled a fair amount on them on this kill 100. Uh, I know we did when we did the Bari Beach. We got a knife globaled like twice. It was an epic little wave event. It just didn't have clearly marked waves, and so it was a little just seemed like one endless wave, which is great if you're just there to codex. And I'm sure it does have an end. It was hard to tell where we were at, and so after a while, I just kind of gave up. All right, let's go find these last 18 and finish out this daily. Ah, there's a whole big map. There's a lot over here. That should be a good start on set 18. Getting jumped on. So yeah, you want at least probably close to 30 DPS on these guys, and the closer you can get up into that 50-60 zone, probably the better off you are. Just because it's all mixed spawns out here. Like the 35 that we switched to is overkill on the youngs a little bit, but does pretty right in the zone on those levels 7 and 8s. And says with the new loot system, got a little tongue tied there, it's hard to overkill since it's all return based. It's not like before where each mob had a set like 100% return was X ped, and they just calculated what they thought it should cost you to kill it. And so with that loot 2.0, the overkill is kind of, I don't want to say a thing of the past because I think you can still overkill stuff a little bit, but it's not to the same magnitude or penalty when you do. It's kind of an interesting mob model. So like the its left leg is big, the right leg skinny, right arm big, left arm is like a couple arms, weird pincer thing. I kind of wonder what the inspiration was for the drawing of this mob. But this will be enough to finish out our daily here for sure. So that's more than 6. Oh, and there we got a codex rank as well. That'll be an extra reward. So we'll get perception for this 35. We'll get evade for this Bahri after I kill this one and the one that's on us right now. Oh, that was a nice way to finish too. A little over 4.5 ped. So we're heading back to Pit North now to get the reward for the evade, and then we'll stop any mission terminal that's at every teleporter, whatever. There's like 7 of these mission terminals around Toulan at least that allow you to collect this reward. And so there'll be one at Pit North on that inside, I bet. And so we'll fly out there. It'll take just a second to get there. We'll stop. We'll collect reward. We'll collect reward. We'll pick a reward for this codex as well. We can pick the codex reward on the way in. What we got? I feel this is an evade situation here. Because the less mobs hit me, the less I have to heal, the less armor decay I take. And the less I get interrupted when I'm sweating. Since I'd like to solo swunt over the big sweat circles anyway, even when I'm on Calypso. And there's not a lot of options for solo swunting on Calypso. There we go. And here's our evade for our daily. And then we're going to head in here, find that mission terminal I was talking about, up right there. And that'll give us our perception reward. And so that's going to wrap up our Bahri dailies today. I hope that everyone is having an amazing day. Stay epic.